Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, all of you.
Walaikum Assalam.
I'm sorry, actually, by mistake, I joined the other meeting. So someone told me, and okay. So I believe all of you can see my screen. Shall we start?
Yes, we can start, sir.
Okay, so Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome all of you in this PMP introduction session. So this is going to be the schedule of the full course, inshallah. Starting from 13th of July, it will be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evening classes. So you already know the schedule. My introduction, my name is Abu Bakr Hassan. I have done bachelor's in computer science, master's in information technology, PMP and RMP certified. The voice is clear for all of you, or is there any noise? Actually, I'm running fan here, so if there is noise, I can slow it down. The voice is okay?
Yeah, okay, fine.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So PMP, all of you know what is PMP? Project Management Professional. And RMP is Risk Management Professional. So within project management, you have different areas in which you can specialize. One area is risk management, another area is scheduling professional, and you have agile certification also. Then I have done some certifications related to technology, as my background is software development. That is MCTS and MCPD certified, and Lean Six Sigma, Green Belt and Black Belt certified, which are quality related certifications. With more than 22 years of working experience, mostly in the field of project management, and more than 200 PMP workshops I have already conducted in KSA mostly, and more than 12,000 engineers and managers just like you. This is my contact number. I have Saudi number also, and I have Pakistani number also. So you can contact me anywhere you like. Some of my recent sessions I conducted. These are not very recent. Maybe you can say in last 2-3 years. This is Nokia Saudi Arabia. This is also Nokia Saudi Arabia. This is my Zoom session. This is also one of the Zoom session. This is my open session in Riyadh. I had an institute in Riyadh, but in 2020 I closed it due to COVID, and then I shifted fully on Zoom only. I conduct trainings for the corporates also. National Petroleum Jumbo, this is their group. This is KFCA, King Fahd Causeway Authority, the bridge between Khobar and Bahrain. This is for that authority. This is for KFUPM, Tehran. This is STC, Mursalat, Head Office. This is my Khobar open course. So now this slide is about, now you can pay attention now. This is about who can do PMP, what are the prerequisites. So first, there are two prerequisites. Number one is the experience requirement. You must have minimum 3 years of working experience on projects, related to projects. It could be any capacity, it could be any designation. It's not necessary that it has to be a project manager only. Or if you are not having 16-year education, 4 years degree, in that case, you need minimum 5 years of working experience related to the process. Once again, if you have 4 years degree, then you need minimum 3 years experience. If you have less than 4 years degree, it could be diploma, it could be 3 years degree, then you need minimum 5 years of experience. Any question or confusion, if you have, please clear it now. I will be happy to answer all of your questions. Anyone wants to ask any question related to experience, please?
So it doesn't have to be as PM, right? It can be even as project leader or anything.
It could be planning engineer, QC engineer, so title could be different.
Yeah.
So, but when you are filling your application, and remember where to fill your application, this is the website, www.pmi.org. After the training, you will go directly. I will guide only, but this is the governing body, PMI, Project Management Institute. You will directly make your profile. You will directly make the exam fee payment to PMI, not through us. Right? So on this website, when you are making your profile, you will have to enter the details of 3 years experience or 5 years experience. So project wise, you have to provide. I will give you guidance on that also. Any other question from anyone, please?
And this training qualifies you for 35 PDUs as well, right? Contract
Right.
hours.
Right. Yeah.
Will there be a certificate or what?
Yeah,
How will it be mentioned?
There will be certificate. There will
Yeah.
be a certificate of attendance.
Yeah.
Anyone else having any question, please? Khalid, your question is being a business owner, will that be considered? Yes, being a business owner, if you took some initiatives, if you started some new things and you planned, you executed, you delivered, yes, that can be presented as a project also. But again, it depends how well you present it. For that, I always suggest my students that before you submit your application, please show it to me draft so that I can give my feedback on that and you can make adjustments if required. Yes, please. Anyone else having any question on this experience?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
After we update our profile, okay, exam, how will we choose the date and like this it will be?
Exams are available every day.
Oh,
So just like an airline booking, you will select the date yourself, whatever suits you. Right? And you can take in advance also. Let's say you want to, you can select a date of after 4 months, no problem. Right?
okay, it will be an online exam, right? There is no center, right?
Both options are available.
Okay.
Both options are available. Exam center is also available, and the exam center in every big city, you will find an exam center. Right? When you
Okay.
fill your application, you submit your application, and after it is approved, after you make the exam fee payment, right, then you can choose the exam center. So let's say you select that I'm in Jeddah. So it will show you where are the centers in Jeddah. If you select I am in Hoover, it will show you where are the centers in Hoover. Right. So this
Okay.
option is also available, but online is also available. But I suggest on the basis of past experience, observation, feedback from the students, right? The experience of online. Online means giving exam from home. Right?
Yes.
Giving exam from home. That is not recommended. There are many problems in that mode. So easiest is if you are in a big city, right? Every big city has a very nice exam center. Go to that exam center, give that exam there. All the facilities are good enough there, but at home there are problems.
Okay, thank you.
Nadeem, you are asking here at site, very poor signal. Can I attend on Friday? So are you asking about the seminar or the exam itself? Please clarify so that I can answer it. Meanwhile, another one point I want to explain here that if you have, let's say, 20 years of experience, 15 years of experience, it's not necessary that you have to fill all the experience required or all the experience you have. Right? So it's only that whatever is minimum required. Right? So if you have 20 years experience, you do not need to enter all 20 years. Only 3 years, but one restriction here that it must be only within last 8 years. So this thing that I highlighted here, only within last 8 years. Any experience before that will not be considered. So that means when you are filling your application, you can enter, let's say this is 2023. You attend this training now, inshallah, in July 2023, and you're filling your exam application in August 2023. So your time, let me go to the next slide. You are filling your application in August 2023. You can enter experience only within last 8 years. So that means you can mention experience only within this range. If you enter any experience of 2008, 2012, 2014, it will not be accepted. Number one. Number two, within these 8 years, any 3 years of your choice. It's not necessary it is one project. It could be 3 projects. It could be 6 projects. It could be in one company. It could be in more than one company. It could be one country. It could be more than one country. It could be with gaps also. So there is no issue on that. There is no such restriction. So let's say you mention one project from 2016, March 2016 till December 2016. No problem in that. You mention one more project from June 2018 up till December 2019. No problem in that. So now how many months you need to enter more? Maybe 3 more months, right? So you need to mention 3 more months from anywhere else. So it's not necessary that it must be continuous. It could be in any sequence. It could be with gaps also. Any question or confusion from anyone?
But how will they know that it is really an experience or not? Because if somebody says I've been working here or something, he has to put some certificates or what? How will he prove it?
I will explain that point. It needs little more detail. That is
Okay.
called as audit. I will explain it now on the next slide.
Mhm.
MSK, I will explain all these things. Let me go to the next slide. Here I just explained only related to experience audit. Right? All other things I have slide on next slides coming on that. So experience, everyone, I hope it is clear. Now, second thing is the training itself, right? So if you attend this training that I just mentioned here, right? So this training, it will fulfill your requirement of 35 contact hours, right? After that, in the last day or after the last day, I send you the soft copy of the certificate. So that will fulfill your requirement. Second requirement, the training requirement. So number one, experience requirement. Number two, the training requirement. Now you can fill your exam application, and once your exam application is accepted, you can give the exam. Exam is 230 minutes, 180 questions, mostly multiple choice objective question. There is no subjective question. There is no detailed question that you have to write paragraphs. Nothing like that. It's all 100% objective exam. And if you pass, inshallah, you will get the PMP certificate, and roughly 65% passing marks, you can say roughly right now. Why I'm saying roughly? Because there is no official number disclosed by PMI that how much is the passing score. Up till this point, any question or confusion on this slide, please?
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
I have discussion about the training, which is in B point here. So this training you are providing online or in person is also available?
See,
Thank you.
I'm conducting online only. In person, it is possible only because I'm based in Lahore, and sometimes I come to Saudi Arabia also. So if you have a big group available to attend my in-person training in Lahore or in Saudi Arabia, I will conduct that. But big group means minimum 20%. So if you have that group available, I will be happy to conduct in person. Otherwise, I mentioned in the beginning, up till 2020, I was conducting physical trainings in different hotels, in different cities, in different institutes. But after COVID, I shifted to online, Zoom based, and now my sessions are only Zoom based.
Okay, noted. Thank you.
Right. Any other question or confusion from anyone? Okay, now related to that point that what if someone enters fake information, fake experience, right? So remember when you are filling your application for the first time in the first round, you do not need to attach or upload any documents. It is purely data entry only. That from this date to this date, I worked in this company on this project. So it is only data entry. But after you submit your application, it is possible that you may come under their random audit. If you come in their random audit, in that case, you will have to provide them the scanned copies of the degrees also. Number one, your degree. Number two, experience letters from those companies for which you have mentioned in your experience 3 to 5 years. And number three, email contacts of the supervisors also, and they may contact them. Once again, for those projects which you have mentioned in your application. And number four is your training certificate copy. These are the four things required in case your application comes in the audit process. Any question or confusion? Clear to all of you? No question, no confusion on this point? And if your application comes in the audit process, let me explain a little more on that. Let's say today is 25th of June. You filled your application and you submitted your application today. Now, either you will receive an email immediately on the same day if your application is selected for the audit, because that is automatically selected. There is no manual review for that. So you will immediately on the same day, and sometimes within seconds or minutes only, you receive that email that we have selected you for the audit process. Please provide us this. They give you a checklist. In case you do not receive any email on that day, you can relax that, okay, Alhamdulillah, at least I am not in the audit. Then this audit email comes on the same day. This approval email or rejection email comes after 5 working days. So let's say around 22nd of July, maybe, other than the weekends, you may receive an email from them that yes, we have reviewed your application, it looks fine, you can pay your exam fee and book your exam. That means your application has been accepted. Or you will receive an email that we have reviewed your application, but we are not satisfied. The way you have presented your experience, it is not according to how we want it to be. So please rephrase it, modify it, and submit again. So this is how this process works. And in case your application comes in the audit, maybe you need time to arrange the documents, experience letters. So they give you 90 days. Within 3 months, you have to arrange everything. Any question or confusion, please?
We will need any books or a training lecture will be enough?
You will need to study the book. I will provide you the book or study material during the training inshallah.
Okay.
PM book now is 7 now, right?
Yeah, but that is not the main book for exam practice. For exam preparation. Here you can just go through this slide. Just give me 5 minutes for the prayer. I'm in Lahore. It's Maghrib time here, so just give me 5 minutes for the prayer, inshallah. Meanwhile, just go through this, and once I come back, or maybe it's prayer time in your area as well. So
Can we make it 10 minutes because it's Zohar time for me? So
you are in which area?
I'm in Belgium.
Belgium. Ah, okay, sure. So let's take 10 minutes here.
Yeah.
So after 10 minutes, inshallah, we'll resume.
Yeah, so we'll be seeing each other at 40 past 4. Sorry, 40
You're-
past 7, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
okay, good. Thank you.
If someone has any question before we resume, please feel free to ask me. Brian, this is the schedule. Or if you just send me a message, I will share it with you also.
Regarding the training certificate,
Yeah.
sorry, not training certificate, I mean experience certificate. Okay. The normally our company will be issue the experience certificate like the designation what you joined there. Okay. But as a experience and we are carrying some other position, okay, which will be mentioned in the our application. So
Right.
we have to prove it that one, or what will be the concern for that?
This thing that your contribution is different and the title written on the experience letter is different. So this is a common thing and that is acceptable by PMI. There is no issue on that. So the only thing that they want to verify that at least you were part of that company during those mentioned years and months, right? So
Okay.
that is the main reason. Additionally, what you actually did on those projects, that is written by you yourself in the project details. So that project details, as I said, that is important and that is the reason for rejection or acceptance of your PMP application. So that is fine, even if you have a different title on your experience letter. As I said, for example, you have document controller, but in the project detail, you write that I led a project. So that is fine. That is possible. There's no issue on that.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Any other question or confusion from anyone, please? So exam, it's a computer-based exam. So either you give it from your home or you go to some exam center and there you give the exam, and that is Pearson View. Pearson VUE. So this is the exam chain, centrist chain where you can give this exam and many other exams also are given. So 180 questions, mostly multiple choice questions. Some questions could be fill in the blanks also, and some questions could be mapping words on the definition also. Total time is 230 minutes. On average, you have 76 seconds to answer each question, but it is your choice how much time you want to spend on each question. Maybe the question is very easy and you can answer in 20 seconds. You select the answer, you go to next question, or maybe you want to spend, keep thinking 2 minutes, 3 minutes on that. So it is all controlled by you. When you click on next, only then the next question will come. Zahid, you want to ask something?
Yes, if we skip some questions, is there any possibility to go back to that
Yeah.
answer?
Yeah, you can go back also. You can skip the questions also, or you can come at the end back to the questions also. So the questions remain editable. You can change the answers. I will show you the format of the question. How the screens look like. Zahid Sakandar, you also want to ask something?
Yeah, if we have 180 question, so suppose we solved and all 150 question and all the answer are correct. So they will close this paper, or we need to answer all this?
No, your exam will finish only either you submit it declaring that I have no more questions to answer, or the time is complete. Only in these two scenarios your exam will finish.
Okay.
Danish, you want to ask something?
Yes, sir. What is this MCQS and map definition? What exactly it is? in questions?
Multiple choice questions. MCQ means
Okay.
multiple choice questions. This is a situation or option A or B or C or D, what you will select. So that is MCQ. Map definitions means on one side, maybe they will have words, on the other side, or maybe one word. On the other side, you have 4 lines, and they will say, okay, what is the meaning of this word? So in that case, you have to, that is just like class 2 exercise, class 2 or 3 exercise. Your kids might also be doing similar homeworks, mapping definition. So that is now available in the exam also.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
The exam result will be appear the same time or?
Yeah. Within seconds, after you finish your exam result will be displayed.
And certificate also will be issued at the same time?
No. Certificate, if you pass, then you will receive your certificate soft copy maybe in 1 week and hard copy maybe in 2 to 3 months or sometimes even 4 months. So this is the time taken by them.
Sir,
Yes, please.
what is the percentage of passing of this exam? I heard that is a very tough exam and it's a very, passing percentage is very less and all. Is it what exactly it is? Is it true or what is this?
See, but I'm sure if you have heard this thing that it is tough exam, then you must have heard this also, that there is a value of PMP. Why it has a value? Because it's not that everyone will do it or everyone can do it. That is why it has value, right? But if you do it, inshallah, you will pass in first attempt. Right? So it's not that it's very easy. No, it is not easy. But at the same time, it's not that you cannot do it. No, there's people like you, they do it and they pass alhamdulillah in first attempt. Right? Almost every week and sometimes after every day, some of my student in some of my WhatsApp group, he shares his success, alhamdulillah, I passed in first attempt. So it's a matter of seriousness. Yes, casual people, casual attempts will not pass you, will not succeed you. Right? But inshallah, if you do right attempt, if you consult, if you follow my recommended roadmap, inshallah, 95% chances you will pass in first attempt. I hope it answers your question.
Yes, thank you.
Right. Any other point from anyone?
In case the first attempt is failed, what is the possibility of the next things?
See, when your application is approved, your application is approved for 1 year. Within 1 year, within 12 months, you can give first attempt, second attempt, third attempt. Right? So the difference, the duration between first and second or second and third attempt, there is no minimum difference required. I remember maybe 7-8 years ago, one of my students, he gave exam, he failed in first attempt, and just after 1 week, he gave the second attempt and he passed. So there is no minimum time between 2 attempts. It's just an availability of the dates available. You can book your exam.
There will be.
Can repeat the exam.
Sorry, you come again, please. You're not clear.
Yeah. If you lose in first.
See, I think you are logged in from multiple devices. So mute all others and only keep unmuted from which you are speaking. Otherwise, there will be disturbance like that.
Now I am asking, if you will lose in first attempt, then we can try still how many attempts?
There are 3 attempts with one application in 1 year. But every attempt, you will have to pay the fee again. Right? So that, yes,
Likewise,
please.
in our if they can do only 2 attempts or 3 attempts, but whereas in PMP, I don't have any idea. That's why I'm asking.
So I'm telling you, maybe you misunderstood me. I said there are 3 attempts for PMP. Is it okay?
Yeah, okay. Every time the exam pattern is same or it will be changed.
An exam
Like
pattern is same.
every for every examination there is 180 questions.
Yeah,
These the number of question will be reduced or it will be the same.
same. But it is
How much is the fees
with,
for the attempt?
yeah, that I will show you next slide, but there is some difference. First attempt is roughly $550 and second attempt roughly $375. For third attempt also the same. But I will show you on the next slide.
Can we use the previous
Sorry, your voice,
certificate from your institute?
sorry, your voice, come again, please. What is your question?
I think he was asking if he can use the certificate from your institute for 35 credits. I think so, if I understood correctly.
Yeah, our certificate or anyone else, you take it from any institute, it is acceptable. Right? Unless and until I could not understand your question. Any other question from anyone, please? Okay, so out of
How much
100,
older certificate can be used? For example, if we have the certificate from 2016, so can we use it for the current course?
there is no expiry of the training certificate. Even if you have attended my course or from anyone else, even in 2010, even in 2005, still it is valid for the exam application. But many of my own students, they come again and they take the training again for the knowledge refresher. Right? Because after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you will forget everything. For PMI exam, yes, it is acceptable. Guaranteed acceptable. No doubt on that. But yes, one option is study the book again and refresh your knowledge. That is hard for most of you because of time. So they say easier thing is, okay, pay a discounted fee to Abu Bakr, sit and attend his training again. Then in that momentum, inshallah, we will continue. So there is no expiry of the training certificate. But knowledge refresher wise, if you have attended a training 2, 3, 4 years ago, you will forget everything. And again, the book will also change, exam patterns sometimes also changes. Any other question or confusion, please? Okay, next point is out of these 180 questions, 5 questions are considered as pre-test questions. Pre-test questions are having 0 weightage. Right? Regardless, you attend these, you attempt these, or you do not attempt these, there will be no effect on your score. But the problem is there is no indication which 5. So you will have to respect all 180 questions equally without knowing that is there any weightage of that or not. And the purpose is they keep introducing new questions for the future exams. They keep increasing their questions pool. So that is the reason behind this. And roughly 60 to 75% passing marks. Why there is a big difference? Because PMI has not disclosed any specific percentage, but on the basis of experience, observation, right? 60 to 75% you can roughly keep in mind that this is the passing score. Any question or confusion from anyone, please?
While we are answering the questions, okay, we can understand that when it is answer is correct or wrong. No, right?
Maybe you just confidence only, but yes, no 100% assurance that it is right.
Okay. It will not be locked, right? It is editable. We can change, right?
No, yeah, you can change.
Okay.
And there's no negative marking also. This is the interface of the exam question software, right? So there are two screens, two main screens. You can say this is screen number 1 and this is screen number 2. All your questions will come one at a time on screen number 1. You will have your question statement, you will have the options, you will have next button, you will have previous button, you will have a button to open the calculator. Remember, you cannot take your personal calculator with you in the exam center. You will have that built in the exam software. So if you feel some calculations are required, you can click on this and it will open. Here, you will have time, all the time it will be shown that how much remaining time is there. So this is how your exam questions will come. And if you, sometimes it happens that you can not understand a question. You say, okay, why to make myself upset right now? We will look at it later if I get time. Or you answer a question, but you're not confident about the answer. So you can flag for review also. So if you flag for review, it will remain highlighted and you can come back again later on. And this second screen is called as review screen. So if you click on this button, you will go to the review screen. On the review screen, all the questions only, without statements, without answers, within the single view scroll, you will see all the numbers of the questions. And in case some question you have not answered, it will be shown as incomplete. So you can directly click on question number 7. Question number 7 will come in the form of screen number 1. Then again, you will come to screen number 2, review screen. You will see, have I flagged any questions? So yes, question number 14 is flagged. That means I need to revisit this question. So this is how your exam software will look like. And when you feel you still have time available, but whatever you could do your best, you have done it. So just last one prayer and then click on end review. When you click on end review, your exam is submitted. Now, no more questions you can answer. And within few seconds, you will get your result, pass or fail on the computer screen. Any question or conclusion?
So before exam, we do any demo session also for exam?
When you start your exam, there is a tutorial exam, dummy exam, just to show you how this same thing that I just explained to you, you can try it yourself, that what happens when I click on next. So there is a dummy exam, but maybe if maybe you were asking about the exam practice itself. So yes, there are exam practice, exam simulators, which you should practice enough before going, and that should be just like reading the book itself. So if you are spending, let's say, 1 month on reading the book, then I suggest minimum 1 month you should spend on the exam simulations or practice questions also. So within
Before,
the real exam,
before exam, are you conducting some mock test during training session?
no, I will not conduct that, but I will give you some maybe 2000 questions, practice questions, which once you complete your book reading, then you should do that, right? So that I will give you exam practice questions, but mock sessions within the training, yes, maybe we will discuss like 100 questions maybe, right? But after the training, maybe you shall practice at least 2000 questions. Any other question?
But once the training has finished and we are going through all the questions and some question, like we think the answer should be, let's say A, but the actual answer is C. Can we consult you? That can you explain it or something?
See, first of all, the exam practice questions, they are always with explanations, right? That this answer is correct and why it is correct. So that's why that is a very good learning source, that from which angle you should try to look at the exam questions. Because your concept or your experience could be slightly different, but the way PMI wants you to look at the things, that is different. So that drill will make you expert, inshallah, that from which angle you should practice. Number one. Number two, for every group, we make a WhatsApp group, every training session. So if you come across some questions, sometimes it happens that exam practice questions, answers are not correct sometimes, very maybe a few questions. Or people, they are not convinced about the explanation. So what they do, they share in the WhatsApp group. There are, see, I do not know how many people will be there in this session, right? But from my past sessions, there are more like between 40 to 60, alhamdulillah. Right? So that is a good option for networking also, and good learning in group also. So people share in that session, WhatsApp groups, and they discuss. If I feel that I need to jump in, I also give my opinion on that also. Or sometimes, rarely, people contact me on one-to-one basis also. I try my best to answer that also. But that is not needed like once every week or once every day like that. Rarely it happens. I try my best because I'm doing my other jobs also. So when I get chance to reply, I do reply. Any other point from anyone?
Yeah, if during exam we are not, I mean, we finish the time and we are not able to put the end review, okay, is it will be considered as fail or it will be?
No. See, your time will be finished and automatically exam will be submitted. Right? So whatever you have answered, it will be scored. And even if you have not unflagged for review also, still if your answer was correct, you will get the credit for that. So sometimes it happens that people are able to finish only, let's say, 160 questions, on 20 questions remaining, still they may pass also, right? Depending upon how well they attempted those 160 questions, right? So end review, if you do not do end review yourself, it will be done forcefully, no problem. Clear?
Sir, all question will be like objective type or any subjective also?
No subjective. No subjective question.
So numerical calculation also involved, or it's only option wise, like fill in the blanks, multiple choice? And
Numerical questions, they do not say explicitly that there are no calculations, right? But on the basis of XP observation, since last 2 years, no calculations are coming.
no, you, as you are telling now, means you may use inbuilt calculator also. So calculator will be involved only in calculation only.
Yeah.
So that means they are asking numerical also.
No. As I said, they are not declaring it anywhere that there will be no calculations. They're not claiming it. Up till 2 years ago, before that, there were like 20-30 questions related to calculations. Right? But they have never announced it that now we have stopped asking calculations. But since last 2 years, there are no calculations coming in the exam, but maybe still you see a question and maybe wrongly you start doing calculation, which is not required actually. So just having the calculator button, that does not mean this question needs calculations. That button will be available in all 180 questions. But just on the basis of feedback from the people who just gave exams in last 2 years, because the last time the exam pattern change was 2 years ago, I think January 21. Right? So 2.5 years almost. So, and since January 21, calculations are not coming in the exam, which could be good thing for people who do not like mathematics. Any other question, please?
Okay.
You will give us 2000 question, right?
Roughly 2,000, yes.
Okay, after solving this question and we have answer for this question, then we can go for the exam. Yani it will be okay.
After, yeah, as I said, the people who do this, they complete this roadmap. Once again, in last 2-3 years, majority, or you can say the percentage of people who are passing exam in first attempt, that has significantly increased. So maybe more than 100 people who passed in last 1 year, and hardly 1 or 2 failed. I'm telling from my students. Right? So,
okay,
which was not the case maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Maybe 3-4 years ago, it was like 90% passing in first attempt. Now it looks like maybe 98% passing in first attempt. So it looks like the exam has become a little easier as compared to a few years ago.
okay.
Assalamualaikum, sir.
Walaikum assalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Amjad Hussain here.
Yes, please.
Sir, my question is the 2000 question you will give to us to solve the most probably chance that we will get the question from the same from these 2000 questions, or
No,
maybe technically we will get something else.
no, your both questions are different. Number one, you will not get the same questions in the exam, right? But concepts are same, stories are different. Number two, you asked about technical questions, so there will be no technical question in the exam, right? There will be no technical question in the exam, because technical means field specific. That will mean if one person is from IT industry, another person is from electrical industry, another person is from telecom industry. So if they ask any technical question related to IT, how the civil engineer will answer it? If they ask any technical question related to telecom, how the IT person will be able to answer it? Right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
there will be no technical question in the exam. There will be no software related question in the exam. When I say software related, that means Primavera or Microsoft project or any other planning software. There will be no question related to Primavera. There will be no question related to Microsoft project.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Any other question or confusion, please? Okay, when you apply for the exam, first take the membership, or now they have slightly changed it that now you can take the membership and pay for the exam fee together, right? So the membership fee is $139. So if you take the membership, there are some benefits also. Remember, I will share these slides with you, right? So at the end of the session, just send me a message, maybe or today or tomorrow. I will share these slides with you also.
All presentation you will share?
Yeah, there is nothing sensitive in that all presentation I will share. So the today's complete presentation I will share with you in PDF. right? So you get
Okay.
access to PMI library and you can download the standards of publications. You become part of a worldwide community. It's good for networking also. And you can review PMI conducted salary surveys also to see how much is the benefit of taking PMP certification or PMP certification in which country. So that is also very good benefit for you. This is the exam pricing. If you are a member and membership, you remember it was 139. If you are a member, then the exam fee first attempt is $405. If you are not a member, then it is $555. So there is no, effectively almost no difference. Second attempt, $275 and $375. Third attempt also $275 if you are a member, and if you are not a member, $375. So this is the exam fee. Any question or confusion on that?
Sir, this membership is valid for how long?
1 year, but it's optional. Optional means you do not need to continue every year. So even if you pass the exam, it's not must for you to take it every year.
No, but what is the benefit to become a regular
Right.
PMI member? Even if I pass the exam, is there any extra benefits?
These benefits I just mentioned here.
I think on top of it, you can download PM book and other books for free.
But these
From
books are
their
not
website.
for the exam study.
Yeah, but at least they offer their books for free
Knowledge.
from
Yeah.
there if you are a member.
So maybe one good benefit is this one, and networking. So networking wise, it's good. Because in every city you have PMI chapters also, right? So you attend their annual events or quarterly events. So you get a chance to make new connections in the industry. So that is one of the biggest benefit I think you will have to take the membership. So within 1 year, you can give 3 attempts, right? And the result is given immediately on the spot. Any question on this slide before I proceed?
The worst case, okay, the 3 attempts we failed, okay. Is there any other opportunity in the same year to do the exam?
No. Then you have to wait for 1 year and then apply again.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
Wait means immediately next year we cannot apply?
That is only if you have already given 3 exams and failed in all 3. In that case.
Then 1 year wait.
Then 1 year wait.
Can you come again? Because I have some network issue at my end.
That was like a hypothetical scenario, should not practically happen, right? As I told you that most of the people, alhamdulillah, they pass in first attempt. Very rarely, few people, they do underestimation or they do not follow my advice properly. Very few, they fail in first attempt. They learn from their mistakes. After 1 month, 2 months, they give the second attempt and they pass. Here we are discussing a person who gave first attempt, he failed. Then he gave second attempt, he failed again. Then he gave third attempt and he failed again. Now he wants to give fourth attempt. I said that the duration between third and fourth attempt has to be 1 year wait. This was the point. But it should not practically happen. You should pass, inshallah, in first attempt. Worst case, second attempt within 1 to 2 months after the first attempt, inshallah. Any other question or confusion?
Yeah, right now I'm staying in India. Is there any centers in India, or the exam will be conducted through online only?
No, no, as I told you, every big city has an exam center. So I'm sure there must be hundreds of exam centers in India. Right.
Okay.
So means we have to visit the exam center to give the final exam.
Yeah. You will book it online, you will take appointment online, but on the day of the exam, you have to visit.
Mm. So in KSA, where are the exam centers? Are?
Every city has different areas, and they keep on changing also. Like a few years ago, in 2012, it was on Walan building in Riyadh. Then it shifted to diplomatic quarter. Then it shifted to Aruba, I think.
What about Jubail Dammam?
In Jubail, I'm not sure it's now in Jubail or not. In Dammam, it was near Chamber of Commerce.
Mm.
There was one on Khubur Cornish also. That was when ladies and gents exam centers were separate. Now I'm not sure they're still separate or not.
So
But
once
as I
I'll
told
book,
you,
so once I'll book the exam, then I need to choose the city. I mean area.
yeah,
Then
after your application is approved, you have made the exam fee payment, then you will choose the exam city and center. And once your appointment is confirmed, they will share with you the Google location and the contact information. Right. So even you do not need to ask me that where are the exam centers or anyone else. Directly, once you book your appointment, everything you will get to know from them.
Okay.
Okay, now someone asked on the chat also how to extend the PMP certification. So remember, PMP certification is not for life, it is valid for 3 years. But the good thing is it is extendable without exam. It is renewable without exam. So after passing the exam, you have this title for 3 years. It can be renewed for another 3 years without exam if you keep on attending more trainings. PMI, they do not want you to stop your learning process after completing your PMP. They want you to keep polishing you, right? So 60 PDUs means roughly just like in order to give the exam, 35 PDUs are required or 35 professional development units are required or 35 contact hours are required. So after you pass the exam, you need 60 PDUs in 3 years. Right? So for example, as I told you before, it's not mandatory for you to take the training from me only. You can take it from anywhere in the world. It is acceptable. I tell my trainings, I give trainings on P6 also. I give trainings on MS project also. I give trainings on RMP also. I give trainings on ACP also, other than PMP. So P6, 20 PDUs, MS project 20 PDUs, RMP 30 PDUs, ACP 23 PDUs. So many students, what they do after they pass PMP, in next 3 years, they keep attending my few courses and their 60 PDUs are completed. And even some people, they attend my PMP course again. My own students, after passing PMP, they come and they attend my PMP course again, who are already PMP certified, just for the sake of 35 PDUs. So they have to collect somehow some combination of 60 PDUs. So these 60 PDUs could be in first year also after passing PMP, or second year or third year, or equally distributed also, or not necessary that equally distributed. Maybe no PDUs in the first year, then 10 PDUs in the second year, then 50 PDUs in the third year. So if you collect 60 PDUs in 3 years, your certification will be renewed for another 3 years without exam. In case you do not have 60 PDUs at the end of 3rd year, your certification will be suspended. You will get a warning period for 4th year. If you collect the missing PDUs in the 4th year, your certification will be reverted back to normal state. In case your 4th year is also passed, then your certification is discontinued, cancelled. Now, in future, whenever you need it again, you need to pass the exam. Any question or confusion from anyone?
After getting certificate, we are doing a job. So this job is also as training. So why they need training which is not included in job for these points?
Sorry, I could not understand your question. Come again.
Any after getting the PMP certificate, I am now PMP certified and doing job related to my PMP certificate. Okay. So if I am doing job, yani, I am also getting training
No, no.
in my office.
Formal training, right? If you are getting a formal classroom training in your office, that is acceptable. But if you say I am doing job and I'm learning, that is not training, that is experience.
Okay.
Right? So that is not training. Formal training is required. 60 hours. Any other?
Collecting PDUs mean the exam also, or just
No exam. Only attending the training. But exam wise, yes. Some people, what they do after PMP, they say now we want to do RMP. So for RMP, the prerequisite is attending a training. 30 PDUs are required. So that 30 PDUs, what they do of risk management training, they use as an prerequisite input to RMP exam. Plus, they use it as continuity of PMP exam also. So they double count it. That is allowed. No problem in that. So same training can be used in PMP continuity cycle also. Same training can be used for RMP certification also. So it can be double counted. Any question or confusion?
Sir, these 60 PDUs, we need to furnish to PMI, or how they will know that we have 60 PDUs?
See, similarly, in the same account where you uploaded all the information to apply for the exam, after the exam, you will continue in the same account. Same login ID, password on PMI website, you will keep entering your training details. Right.
We need to update the training certificates in that.
Yeah. I did my exam in 2005. Right? I was very initial group of people who did exam of PMP from IT industry, right? So maybe at that time only 30-40 people from overall maybe in Pakistan at that time. But since 2005, I'm continuing it without any exam, just by entering the PDUs only. So this is the continuity cycle of PMP. Any question before I go to some sample questions?
So this to maintain this this certificate, PMI certificate, we have to take regular training every year.
Every 3 years. Every 3 years.
No, but to maintain this PDUs, we have to take the training now.
Yeah. Now
on yearly basis?
it's up to you. Let's say in first year you did not attend any training. Second year you did not attend any training. In third year you have to collect all 60 PDUs now. It's up to you. As I told you, there is no
So in
restriction or
total,
distribution.
in total 3 years, we have to maintain 60 PDOs. You mean to say?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it's yearly 60 PDOs.
No. It's not that difficult, right? So 60 PDUs, like let's say two to three trainings in 3 years. So that is manageable.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. Okay, some sample questions that what type of questions or knowledge can be asked. So let's say I want you to actually attempt the answer also. Sometimes they give you 4 options and they say which one is false. Right? So similar question, which of the following is not true of obtaining project plan approval? So please go through these 4 options and tell me what do you think, what is the right answer?
I believe option C is the right answer.
It's C.
Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of first option? Until you obtain plan approval, you do not need to put changes through change control. Can anyone explain the meaning of that?
Hello, let me explain as per my understanding.
Yes, please.
Yeah. The first option means to say that since you have not complete project plan approved, it means that it has each and everything mentioned regarding the scope and the action of your project, that how you will be going to take it with all the deliverables and all the components of that project plan. Until it's not approved, you can't make any changes in it. So it means to say this. Because if it is not approved, then you can add it. Once it is approved, then you need to follow a proper change control mechanism to make any change. If it is not approved yet, you can make changes in it.
Okay, what about others? Do you agree with this, or anyone having any different opinion?
But after the approval, we can't change after taking approval from the client, right? We are not authorized to change in the approval or in the project specification. If we have get the approval, then we are restricted to follow the specs which we took approval.
Anyone else about this? Anyone having different opinion? Omar, what do you think?
Yeah, my understanding is a bit different, but I think it'll go completely opposite to what people have said up till now. Because usually, until it is not approved, all the changes are, it cannot be that anyone involved in the project can make changes. So it has to be through consensus, but once it's approved, then of course it has to go through proper channel.
And before approval, can we make changes?
Yeah, but it has to be with a consensus. It will not be one person will stand up and he will make changes without consulting others. It cannot be, otherwise it will be a mess.
So here, if you see, until you obtain plan approval, that means before that point, right? And that point, when we take the plan approval, after the approval, now I'm introducing one term here, maybe many of you are already familiar with that. That term is called as baseline plan. Baseline plan means approved plan. So once the plan is baseline, after that, you cannot make any changes unless until you raise a change request and you follow some procedures. But before baselining the plan, it is a draft plan. In the draft plan, we can make changes. We means the team. Team can make any change without taking approval from the customer, client, sponsor, anyone. Why? Because we will eventually discuss the whole plan and get it approved. So in the
Yeah,
draft stage, we can make any change, but after baseline, we cannot make any change and unless and until we pass it through a change control. Yes, someone was saying something.
yeah. Here it is. The word is used is you, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you is for a team or for an individual, because
If
if
you
there
say-
are many
okay,
working in
if
a team,
I could be project manager or team.
yeah, because let's say if I'm managing a project, I'm writing a project
Hmm.
with a team, and suddenly I wake up, it's not approved yet, and not even presented to client. And suddenly I wake up tomorrow and realize one of my team member has suddenly changed many things without consulting anyone, and that is not acceptable. How can
Yeah,
someone mess up?
no, no, that I agree with you. That is a different problem or communication protocol that you must establish, right? Here we are saying as a team, we discuss some good idea and we agree that, okay, let's do this thing in this way. In that sense, we can make change anytime.
Yeah, then it makes complete sense. Yeah.
So this is the meaning of first option. Second option, that is just an extension of the same concept. The change control makes sure that only approved changes can make it into the approved plan. Third, only one person needs to approve the project management plan. That is a project manager. That is not true. That is a candidate answer. It is important for the entire team to buy into. What is meant by buy into?
To agree or to believe in it.
Take the opinion from the team.
Right. Involvement, participation, ownership, consensus, convincing. So if the team has a feeling that we actually developed this plan, chances are much higher that the project will be successful as compared to if we say, this is the plan, I have made it as a project manager and start working on this from tomorrow. So if you impose the plan on the team versus if the team has a feeling that this is our agreed plan, of course, there is a difference of chances of success or failure. So C is the right answer. So this is one way to ask the questions. Next question, another very important point, concept. We have to construct a wall in 10 days and we have 1000 real budget, right? So 10 days is the duration, 1000 real is the budget. At the end of 4th day, we have completed 20% and we have spent 300 reals. Assuming linear planning, linear means equally distributed. Every day we will complete 10% and every day we will spend 100 reals. What can we report about the projects? So out of these 4, what do you think, which one is the applicable scenario here?
B.
I think D for the
It will be behind schedule.
B,
And-
behind schedule.
Yeah, behind schedule. And next we need to evaluate whether it's a saving money or the overspending.
It is saving money because it is 1000. So 4 days means 40%, but we have not spent 40% of 1000.
Yeah, so it will be a D.
Yeah, we have spent only 30%.
D,
No.
4th option or B, 2nd option?
B, saving money.
B, second option.
Okay, at least all of you agree it is not ahead of schedule, right?
Yeah.
Should be D.
It's D.
Yeah,
Should be
it's
D.
overspending. It's
You
overspending.
completed 20% and you're using more money for the 20%.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
20%
agree.
should equal to 200 reals, but it's now equaling to 300 reals. So it's overspending by 10%.
Yeah, right.
It is
Answer,
actually, yeah, yes, please continue.
answer will be D, right? I mean, each 10%, 100 real we can be spent, right?
Okay, let me explain it. In 4 days, right? We could have spent 400 reals, but we
yeah,
have spent actually 300 reals.
300.
This is one way to look at it. If we look at it from this angle, it looks like it is a good situation. It looks like saving, positive scenario. I'm not saying right or wrong, but this is one way to look at it. Second way, we have spent 30% of the budget on %20 of the work. This is another way to look at it. If you go with the first comparison, it looks like saving situation. Nice, interesting. If you look at it from the second comparison, it looks like a bad situation. So both comparisons are there, but what do you think? Which one is more logical?
Second will be the more logical.
This is overspending. So remember, always correlate spending with the accomplishment, not with the time passed. Spending must be always compared with, by spending this, how much we have achieved, how much we have completed. So D is the right answer. And by the way, most of the people in IT industry, they answer it wrong. Similar question. And by the way, what is the name of this topic that we just discussed in the previous question? Anyone has any idea? Name of this topic, very important topic. And some people, they do certification only on this subject only.
Cost control.
Related to that, but the name of that subject is earned value management, EVM, or earned value analysis, EVA. Okay, another interesting question. You are a PM of a railroad construction project. Your sponsor has asked you for a forecast. Another very interesting concept. Forecast. Can you tell me, anyone, what is the difference between plan and forecast? Anyone?
The plan is actually the methodology we decide how to complete this project. And the forecast may be based on the historical data analysis, and then we forecast on the basis of that for the next coming year or the next project.
To make it more easy or precise, I say cost related plan and cost related forecast. Now tell me.
Right.
So no methodology, numbers only. Cost related plan versus cost related forecast.
Isn't it the one which is more concrete and approved is the plan, but forecast is without concrete steps? Or I'm really lying there.
Come again, please.
The one which is more concrete with approval is the plan, But the one which is in the initial stage is without approval and without a complete plan is the forecast.
Okay, anyone else?
Plan is before initiating and forecast is after initiating.
Explain this point. Yes, you are right.
Means plan is something which we are just having on the paper without any actual execution started. But forecast is that resources have been used, some of the completion or some of the resources have been used, and we are in between the process now of the execution.
Right. So plan is before starting the execution, and forecast is during the execution. We keep predicting that what is going to happen. So now to make it more easy to understand, can you tell me in this situation, previous question, how much is the cost related plan number and how much is the cost related forecast number? Just tell me two numbers, plan and forecast.
And 1,000.
Plan is 1,000, right? And forecast?
1,200.
1,500.
1,500.
1,500. So this is the difference between plan and forecast. So plan is approved. So we wanted to complete this project in 1,000, but during execution, after reaching to a certain percentage of completion, 20%, we have figured out our planning was maybe not very good, or some bad things started happening during the execution, or it could be any reason. It looks like this project will consume 1,500 instead of 1,000. Is this clear to all of you? Any question or confusion?
Sir, how 1,500?
20% was completed in 300. So multiply both sides by 5. Very easy. So it looks like 100% will be completed in 1,500. If we keep on wasting money like this, if there is no improvement, right? This is the meaning of this forecast. Clear or any question?
No.
Okay. So the situation is the sponsor is asking you, please tell me the forecast. The project has a total budget of 80,000 and CPI, another very important concept. CPI. CPI means cost performance index. Cost performance index means spending efficiency. That how efficiently you are spending your budget. And if I say, and maybe many of you will agree also, that this is the most important KPI of project manager, effectively or practically, not theoretically. Most important KPI. KPI means
Key performance indicator.
key performance indicator. That how you are spending your budget. So CPF 0.95 means 95% efficiency. So is it good or bad? I mean, is it overspending or saving?
Overspending.
Saving.
Efficiency benchmark should be how much?
Efficiency should be 100%, but he is on 95%. So
Efficiency
not
should be
saving.
100%. Efficiency should be 100%. It is 95%. So 95% means we are slightly wasting our budget. There is small wastage in the funding. 5% wastage. Very easy to understand. Let's say this pen, stylus. In the budget, I kept $95 for this. In the plan, in the baseline, I kept $95 for this. But during execution, when I go to the market, I purchase it in how much?
$100.
$99 or more.
$100. So if I purchase it in $100, my CPI will be 0.95. So this shows you that how well or how badly you are actually spending your budget. And most important KPI in the projects. Right. Now, the remaining question is nothing, only the two concepts I wanted to explain are forecast and CPI. The project has spent $25,000 of its budget so far. How much more money do you plan or expect to spend on the project? So another very easy way to select the right answer. Can you pick the right answer?
A,
On what basis?
because it's 5% overspending, so it means total amount will be almost 84,000 something,
Right,
which is
right.
C, but 25,000 we have already spent.
Right.
And if you minus that out of 80, option C was actually 100% budget.
Yeah.
Minus 25,000, then you end up with more money required would be $59,000.
So sometimes in the exams, you can use the formula also. It has a specific formula as well to calculate precisely. Or sometimes this is called as elimination technique. Elimination technique means sometimes it is easier to select the wrong answers instead of the right answer. So just select 3 wrong answers. Whatever is left is blindly right answer. So the total budget is 80,000. We are not going very bad. 25,000 we have spent already. So how much more should be? It should be less than 80,000. So whatever is that, just select that. So sometimes in the exams, this technique is also very helpful, elimination technique. Sometimes the right answer could be a weak answer also, but that is the only right answer. Right? So this is another way to look at the questions. One last question, and after that we will discuss some, maybe we will take a break and then we will discuss some concepts also, or the course contents. So sometimes they ask questions in this way also, but as I told you, the calculations are no more coming, but this topic itself is very important for project management. Let's say we have a project of a few activities, 9 activities, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and I. Their durations are given. Their predecessors are given. Predecessor means prerequisites. What comes before? So A has no predecessor. That means it can be started immediately when the project starts. B has no predecessor. It can be started immediately when the project starts. C can be started only when A is finished. D after A, E after A, F after E. G when D and F both are finished. H after B and C, I after G and H. So if this is the situation, can you guess or somehow calculate, take 1, 2, 3 minutes, tell me what do you think is the project duration in this case?
A.
This topic is called as critical path method, and we will discuss in more detail in the course, inshallah. So what we do, we make a network diagram, we find out all the possible paths, then we find the duration of each path, and the longest path in terms of duration, that is the project duration. So A, E, F, G, A, I, this is 26 days. So 26 days is the project duration. Some cartoons before we discuss more. When a deadline comes too close, this is how a project is completed. So very common on the projects you see. In the beginning, we try to beautify the things. We are showing our full commitment in the beginning of the project, but as we move forward, we become relaxed, and in the end, we say, okay, just make sure it exists. Whatever was there in the scope, it has to be there. He's asking, why do you have only 40% of an umbrella? He says, because chance of rain is only 40%. Now, this is very interesting and informative because this concept is very important. If you understand this cartoon, you will understand the base concept of risk management. Can you tell me what is the meaning of 40% chance of rain? Anyone? Concept. Do not tell me only the words used for this, that it is probability, its chances, likelihood, or whatever. No, just tell me the concept of 40%. What is meant by 40%?
There is a chance for the rain. Should have the preventive method for that one.
Anyone else?
Chance of rain mean the loss in project is 40%. I think so.
I'm asking what is meant by 40%? Or in other words, explain me the concept of probability.
But we just discussed that when we were saying we have spent this much of money and this is this many percent. So if we had 100, so it's only 40 out of 100.
How it will fit in this rain example? 140, what is 100, what is 40?
If I have particular time, so it's only possible that I'll be facing rain for 40%. That's too okay.
Or
A bit less than half time I'm most probable to face the rain.
Let's say, I mean, all of you, I'm sure that you follow cricket. Let's say there is a match between Pakistan and Zimbabwe.
Win percentage.
Let's say. What is the probability that Pakistan will win? Any fair answer?
Knowing Pakistan 0%.
Then you are not following Zimbabwe.
Yeah, but we lost in World Cup, yeah.
Fine, give me a percentage, fair percentage. Zero,
Yeah.
you cannot give.
Yeah, 70%.
70%. Or in my opinion, maybe it could be 80-20. 80% means that if there are 10 matches between Pakistan and Zimbabwe, 8 matches, maybe Pakistan will win, 2 matches, Zimbabwe. This is the meaning of probability 80%. So now if we say 40% chances, That means if we have similar weather, cloudy situation on 10 different occasions, 4 times it will result in rain, 6 times it will remain dry. Right? So now rain is symbolically a risk here on the real life project management. Here, this strategy is not going to work. Probability is only applicable on large number of occurrences. On your real life projects, you have hundreds of risks. For hundreds of risks, you cannot keep hundreds of 100% umbrella or hundreds of full umbrellas. Because the probability says all the risks are not going to actually occur during the project execution. It's a very important concept. So if you start keeping risk reserves for all the 100% of the risks, you will actually never need those. And the sponsor will also never be happy on that. So actually this thing which looks funny in the context of this cartoon, but this is really how we do the risk management. We take chances, we rely on probability.
Can you come again?
I want to ask, so this person is right, and if he has 40% of his umbrella, then he is right.
I already mentioned this thing that concept of probability is only applicable on large number of occurrences. So here, because if you say just one day event only, one time event only, then I will have to keep full umbrella. So in that context, this person is not right. But if I say I have a central store and this is my central store, and we have 20 different sites around us, and 30% of the sites may need umbrellas. So then I will keep 6 umbrellas in the store. So same person, same answer, that if we are talking about one time event, no, this strategy will not work. But when we are considering large number of events, yes, this concept of probability will work, and this is your base concept in risk management, real life risk management. I hope it is clear now. Any other question or confusion?
A question regarding the last question we had.
Okay, let me finish this one and then I will go back.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
who are we, clients? What do we want? We don't know. And when do we want it? Now. So this is a very common behavior of the clients, and especially the people who have faced clients, they know the pain behind this cartoon. And then the last one, some person already jumped from the plane. And then there is an announcement, okay, there is a small change. The red bag is your actually as the sandwiches, and the green bag is your parachute actually. So too late to communicate or inform. Yes, please. You are asking something on the previous one?
Yeah, actually, no, not from this one. The last question we had, the 26 days. Yeah. Actually, I did it based on elimination, but in the exam, if we go to like the one slide you had next, making full diagram, it take pretty long. So you have to go with the tricks there, right?
From elimination, at least you can rule out these two, but 20 and 26 could still be right answers. So you will only be able to tell once we make this diagram, but as I told you, calculations are not coming in the exam now. Earlier they were coming. 2 years ago, they were actually coming. Right. So it
Because-
needed a lot of practice.
Then these are really time consuming questions.
But keep in mind, some questions may take 30 seconds, some questions may need
Yeah.
two
It's
minutes
leverage
or-
up, yeah.
Yeah. So here I think we can take 5 minutes break. After 5 minutes, I will come back and then what I will do, I will cover the course contents. Right, so that is also interesting, useful information. So don't miss. So after 5 minutes, inshallah. I'm back now. If anyone wants to ask any question before I resume. Project management, what is meant by project management? Management is basically application of skills and methodologies that allow us to deliver the project on time, within budget, and to the specification. So remember, as a project manager, I have to take care of all three items, objectives, finishing on time also, finishing within the budget also, and delivering whatever was required. So all three things. If I'm very good in one area, but bad or average in the other two areas, that is not good. So I have to score, just like a student of A levels or O levels, I have to score good grades, A+ grades in all three subjects, time also, cost also, and scope. Projects are always temporary. They have objectives to meet. I'm recording this session also, the slides plus the recording. If you need, just after the session, send me a message, maybe tomorrow, because it will take some time to upload as well. So tomorrow I will share the recording also, inshallah. So it's temporary. It has some objectives to meet. It's progressive elaboration. Progressive means step by step increasing. Elaboration means more details. So as we move forward, we receive more details. We consume those details and we readjust the plans according to that. Why we do the projects? Now, when we say why we do the projects, there are two perspectives. One perspective is customer side. Second perspective is contractor or vendor side. Who starts the project? Customer. What is the role or what is the motivation of the contractor? Why the contractor wants to become part of the project? Very simple question. Can anyone answer it?
He is the one executing it.
What is his interest? What is the motivation of the contractor to get that contract?
Sometimes we need to outsource some services to the ones which have expert in their areas.
You are telling from the customer side. I'm saying, what is the interest of the contractor?
Profit.
What? Profit.
To get paid.
Yeah.
This is their business model. They earn money by offering their services to the customer. So during the life of the project, who is spending? Customer is spending. Who is earning? Contractors are earning. Vendors are earning. Suppliers are earning. After the project is finished, then what happens? When the project is finished,
Customer will start earning.
Customer starts earning from what?
From the product or services.
From the product or the services. So very interesting thing to understand. The customer, he earns from not from the project. Customers, they do not earn from the project. They earn from operations of that product that was produced in the project. Let's say we made a new shopping mall. So shopping mall, when it was under construction, it was a project. When that project was finished, it was handed over. It became operational. So from the operations, customer starts earning. Similarly, telecom companies, they introduce new services. Software companies, they introduce new products, new systems. So customers, they earn from the operations. So they are actually investing during the project life.
Sir,
After
can you
that
speak
project
loudly?
is it for everyone or only you?
Your voice is very low.
For others, the voice is okay or not?
For me, it's good.
Yeah,
For
fine
me,
for
it's
me
good.
at least.
For me, it's
For
good.
me, it's okay.
Yeah. So maybe the headphone you may need to press little more maybe. Okay, so otherwise try to cover from the recording, inshallah. So maybe it's particularly your area side. Okay. So what I was telling you, that during the life of the project, customer is investing. After the project is finished, from the operations of that product, the customer will earn. During the life of the project, contractor is earning. So why the customer decides to invest in the project? There are a few reasons. They say, okay, let's grab some opportunity. Some big event is coming in the region. Hajj is coming. So there are many new companies, they introduce new products because Hajj is a big opportunity. World Cup is coming, FIFA World Cup, Cricket World Cup. Many new companies, they introduce new products, new websites, new offers, new tour packages. So customers, they are doing projects to grab some opportunity or market demand. Market needs something. Let's say market needs 5,000 telecom engineers every year. Let's say Saudi example. They need, let's say, I'm not saying this number is correct. This is just a rough number, random number. 5,000 telecom engineers every year. They are producing only, let's say, 2,000. Market needs 5,000. So what they can do, they can make new universities just to meet this demand. Making those new universities will be considered as a project. Capacity building. What is meant by capacity building? Can anyone tell? Very easy. Yes, please.
Team
Anyone?
building.
Yeah.
Team building.
Team building.
Team
No.
building that can do the specific purpose, or we can say that having expertise in that particular domain.
Capacity building means we increase our production. And for example, Sabic and Aramco, what they are doing? Are they doing something new? Now in Saudi Arabia, people who are in Saudi Arabia, every second, third person in Huber, Jubail, Yumbo, Jazan, you ask what you are doing. I'm working with Sabic. I'm working with Aramco. Their projects. What are their projects? Are they making something new? No. Then what they're doing? More refineries. Increasing the oil extraction. This is capacity building. Haram expansion projects. If you see Makkah and Medina, what they are doing? There are hundreds of projects going on. What they are doing? Capacity building. What is meant by that? That if we have a capacity of 1 million people who can pray right now in the Holy Mosque, maybe after 2 years, we should have 1.3 million. Capacity building, expansion. So many projects the customers will do only to increase the capacity. Technology advancement. With the passage of time, technology will change 3G, 4G, 5G. And what happens? Many companies, they appear from nowhere in the race, and many companies, they disappear to nowhere out of the race. Classical example, my favorite client and biggest client in Saudi Arabia, Nokia. If you remember Nokia in around 2003, 4, 5, they were #1 cell phone producer. They were #1 in that race. But when the technology changed to smartphone, where is Nokia now? And Huawei, which was nowhere at that time, from nowhere they came in top few. So this happens. The companies who keep on upgrading their products with the change in the technology, they survive. The companies who do not timely upgrade their products, they disappear from the competition. So upgrading your products is also project. Regulatory requirements, regulation. Sometimes we use the term standard. Sometimes we use the term regulation. Can anyone quickly tell me what is the difference between standard and regulation?
I think the regulation is a law. If you are not meeting that regulation, you will have to face the penalties. While standards needs compliance only.
Right. Very easy example. Let's say I have two bottles in front of me, and by chance they are of the same company. They are 500 milliliter. Let's say, assume they are from different companies, Nestle and Aquafina, for example. If they are from different companies, can we interchange the caps of these two bottles? What do you think? Yes or no? Same volume, but different companies. Can we exchange the caps?
No.
No.
You can try it. Yes. Mostly 99% yes. Even if they are of different volumes, 300 and 500, 600, 1.5 liters, still you can easily interchange the caps. More than 90% it will work. Why? It has a standard size. It's not a contract. It's not must for you to observe the same measurements. No. But voluntarily, some companies, they follow the standards. Regulations, you like it, you do not like it, you have to follow. Very easy example, let's say on the high-rise buildings or telecom structures, you see red color blinking lights. What is that? This is not for decoration. This is for aviation, air traffic. This is a regulation that if you have an airport in that city, you have to install these lights after a certain height. So this is the regulation. So sometimes you do projects just for the sake of complying with the regulation. These are called as knowledge areas, 10 knowledge areas. These are your contents of the PMP course also, PMP exam also. So in PMP exam or course or training, we will cover these 10 chapters. And in the book, another important topic, which is merged with these within these 10. So don't be confused that where is that topic, that is called as agile. So for some of you, agile is already part of these 10 chapters, or for some of you, you can consider agile as a separate topic. So effectively, these are the 11 topics that we will discuss in the full course, and in the exam, you will have questions on these 11 topics. Any quick question up till this point, please? So right now, I will just give you brief introduction about these 10 topics. And in the full course, we may spend 2-3 hours on each topic because, as you know, it's roughly 35 hours. So on average, 2-3 hours we will spend on each topic. But right now, just one line or few minutes concept. Scope management. Now, first I will just name all these. Project scope management, project schedule management, project cost, project quality. So if you see project and management is coming repeatedly. Other than that, scope, schedule, cost, quality, resource, communication, risk, procurement, stakeholder, and integration management. These are the 10 chapters. So in order to manage a project, you have to manage these 10. When we say scope, so some people use term requirement sometimes. Some people, they use term scope. So can anyone tell me what is your understanding? What do you think that are these two things same or different? If they are different, what is the difference?
There is no difference in requirement and scope.
Okay, anyone else?
Yeah, we can define scope as a boundary like that. And the requirements, we can say that the actual functionality that is required for that product and how many requirements we need to achieve that project in the first phase or second, whatever we can see there.
Anyone else about this question? What comes first? Requirements?
Money exam.
has
Requirements comes first.
Mustaqim, your voice is not clear, please.
So requirements
Yeah.
come first, then we define the scope.
And playing some football games, but city didn't have the stadium or something. You can have a stadium over there in that city, but the requirement will be the different now. There is.
Okay, very easy way to understand. Requirement means needs. Objective. Now, do not mix this word requirement with the resource requirement, because some people, they think that requirement means resources, that we need this much cement, this much steel, this much bricks. No, this is resource requirement. That is a different topic. We are saying project requirements, right? So project requirements and project scope. Requirements means the needs, objectives, the problems. The problems the customer is facing. What he wants to enhance, what he wants to address, what he wants to solve. And scope is the solution. That if we deliver this, requirements will be addressed. Requirements will be resolved. Problems will be resolved. Maybe not 100%. Maybe some of these we can say, no, we will not fix, we will not address, we will not resolve in phase 1. Maybe something in phase 2. So requirement is the need. Requirement is the problem. Scope is the solution. So the problem needs to be identified first. Then we think about the scope. So if I go in the detail of that, scope management, I'm not going to explain all right now, just selected terms today only. Requirements means the problems, the purpose, the needs, the expectation. Scope means how we will address these things. Another easy example to understand. Let's say I am a person, I am a customer, I go to a pharmacy and I say to the salesman that I'm having fever and headache, please give me something. So what I'm sharing with him, scope or requirement, I'm sharing my requirements. I'm sharing my problem, that I am feeling tired, I'm having little fever, I am having headache, please give me something. And he says, take Panadol extra and sleep for some time. Or maybe normal Panadol, sleep for some time. He offered me or proposed me the scope. I accepted and I said, okay, give me. So this is one scenario where the customer is sharing the requirements and the contractor is proposing the scope and customer says, okay, accept it. In another example, let's say I go to a pharmacy and I know my problem already, that whenever I'm in this situation, what gives me relief? And I say, please give me Panadol. Now I am telling him the scope directly. So sometimes the customer will share the requirements with you. You means contractor here. Sometimes he will share the scope with you. And which document I'm referring, how he will share? Generally through the RFPs. Request for proposals or the bid documents or the tender documents. Is this point clear to all of you? Any question or confusion? So first we, yes, please.
So you mean to say requirement is from the client side and the scope will be defined by the contractor side?
I gave example, if we refer back to that pharmacy example. In the pharmacy example, the customer, I was the customer here. I went to the pharmacy and I say, I am having headache and fever. These were requirements given by the customer. And the person who was selling on the pharmacy, he said, sir, I suggest you take Panadol. He offered me scope because he's expert in that. So he's the vendor here, contractor here. I said, okay, accept it, give me. So in this example, the customer gave the requirements and the vendor proposed the scope and the customer accepted it. In the second situation, I said, as a customer, I walk in the pharmacy and I directly tell him to give me Panadol. He says, okay, here it is. So in this example, customer is giving the scope. Is it okay now?
Yeah.
So sometimes STC will give the STC is the customer. They will give the scope in the RFP. Sometimes they will write the requirements only, problems only, and different companies may have.
So it's a
different
vice
solutions.
versa.
Why?
I mean, in both the cases, if contractor can define, I mean, requirement and scope both in both
No, no.
cases.
Requirements will always come from the customer.
Always come from client.
Yeah.
And scope, yeah. So client can give requirement and scope both, but contractor can give only scope.
Yeah. Right.
Clear.
Sometimes the customer has already done similar projects in past to address the similar requirements. So they know what is the scope required. What is the scope of this project? So sometimes they are knowledgeable enough to tell the scope to the vendor. Sometimes they say, no, you guide us. Then there is a term here, WBS. Any idea about that? What is WBS? Very famous term.
Work
Yeah,
breakdown
it's work
structure.
breakdown.
Work breakdown structure. And what is the purpose of that? Or what is the meaning or usage of that?
Once you have defined the scope, you
Casual.
need to break it down, which steps to take one after the other to accomplish it, to validate the scope, which is the next step.
Anyone else?
Schedule, to finalize the schedule of the work.
Do we have schedule in the WBS?
No, we only break down our scope into the smaller tasks.
Okay, one thing.
Distribution of work.
Maybe you have concept right in your mind, but the terminology, this is the purpose of doing the certifications, that we use standard terms, right? So remember, WBS, someone mentioned steps, someone mentioned tasks, right? So remember, it is not steps, it is not tasks, it is not activities. It has no sequence of work, that what we will do first and what we will do after that. It is only distribution or decomposition of the scope into smaller manageable pieces. Easy example to understand. Let's say this is, I said in project management, these are the 10 chapters. I am not claiming here what comes first and what comes after that. This 1, 2, 3 is not the sequence. Even if we remove this sequence here, still the concept remains same. That in any sequence, we cover these 10 parts. So what is the main purpose of doing this distribution or decomposition? To make it simpler so that we focus on one part at a time. Otherwise, we will keep on thinking project management, it's a big thing. It's a dragon. we cannot handle it. Make it part by part, then focus on each part one by one. And when we say, okay, scope is one part, then forget about everything else. Just focus on scope. Then within scope, we say scope management itself is the big thing. Okay, let's distribute it further. Right? We have distributed it in 6 parts. Right? So same is the concept about projects also. Projects are sometimes very big projects. Big projects, for example, Riyadh Metro project. Maybe some of you are from Riyadh. So Riyadh Metro project, any idea how much is the total budget of that? Any idea? It is $22 billion. It was $22 billion, then I think reduced to 17. Right. So $17 billion is a huge amount. Huge amount. So what we do, we decompose the scope. That let's say all a year to this particular section. Okay, this is one scope. This to this section, airport section, metro station. So this is metro station of this road, metro station of bus station. So this is the decomposition of the scope into smaller manageable pieces. We keep on doing that. So it's a hierarchical decomposition. So for a very big project, it could be 3, 4, 5 level decomposition. So this is the purpose of WBS. But remember, WBS is not tasks, it's not activities. It's not steps. It's only scope. Right? Without any sequence of that. This is the 3 terms I mentioned in this chapter: scope management, requirement, scope, and WBS. One more way to understand: scope focuses on what is to be produced. Scope tells you that what will be the outcome of this project. So we are just spending time here on writing these things in the WBS, what is going to be the end result deliverables. When we say schedule management focuses on how it will be produced. So once again, very easy, but very important. Scope management focuses on what is to be produced. Schedule management focuses on how it will be produced. So when we say how it will be produced, this is where we define the activities. And some people use term. Okay, let me ask you this question. What is the difference between activities and tasks? Anyone?
Task is actually to execute activity. Before task, we need to draw the activities. Which activity will come after which activity? Task, actual work.
Anyone else? Difference between task and
Activities are
activity?
performed to complete
Tasks are
tasks.
time bound. Activities are not.
Anyone else? Anyone has used Microsoft project in this session? Anyone ever used Microsoft project or Primavera?
Task and activities are similar.
Tasks and activities are same. Yes, you are right. It is only a terminology. Some applications, software applications, they use term activities like Primavera. You will see activities only. There are no tasks in Primavera. If you open Microsoft project, there is no activity in Microsoft project, only tasks. So tasks and activities both are identical things. Both have time duration, both have relationships, finish to start, start to start, start to finish, finish to finish. Both have resources assignable, right? So there is no difference. So PMP, they use mostly term activity, but even in the exam, if you see term task also, that is same. So what we do here in schedule management, we define the activities, we sequence the activities as I mentioned in terms of finish to start, start to start, start to finish, and finish to finish. We estimate the activity duration. Then we find out the total schedule of the project by applying critical path method. So this is what we do in schedule management. We will, of course, as I told you, right now we are just spending few minutes on that. Later on, we will spend many hours on this each topic. Cost management. Every task, every activity needs some resources. Resources. Can you tell me how many types of resources are there? How many categories of the resources? Three. Which three?
Time and
I gave you further hint, 3 M's.
Material,
Right, material.
Manpower.
Manpower, machinery.
Material, manpower, yes, and
Machinery.
machines. Machines or tools or equipments, they all come under same category. So 3 types of resources required on each activity or task. Every resource has a unit rate. Per hour, per day, per kilometer, per meter, per gallon, per truck, per ton, per whatever. So we do the estimation and then we do the multiplication on each activity. So this is how we do the costing of the project. Quality management. In quality, we have a concept of QA and QC. QA means quality assurance, QC means quality control. Can anyone tell me what is the difference between QA and QC, please?
QA is the proactive approach and QC is the reactive approach. It mainly QA is the verification and QC is actually validation. That is when the product is being built, then we do QC, and QA is during the product manufacturing or when product is in progress, and we make sure that it is up to the standards and following the standard practices.
Anyone else wants to contribute here?
Actually, I have a question over QC. Is it quality compliance or quality control?
Control, quality control. Very easy. Yes, you were almost right. A very easy thing to understand. Let's say you go to any electronics shop. You have different boxes of each item. It is very common observation that when you take that box or open that box on any side, any corner, you see a small sticker. And what is commonly written on that sticker? Very easy question. Do you see anything related to quality there on that sticker?
QC approved. QC approved.
QC approved, QC passed, QC checked.
Quality checked.
Right? Or quality checked. So that shows you the role of QC. Role of QC is that whatever is manufactured before you hand it over to the customer, we need to check that is it presentable or is there any defect in that. So QC will identify the defected items out of the manufactured or production, and they will remove it from the assembly or delivery line. Remaining items, they will stamp that, okay, yes, we are satisfied, go and deliver to the customer. And so in other words, QC is to find the defects in production. or in the produced items, or in the concept of projects, we say in the deliverables. So QC's role is to identify or find the defects in the deliverable. Now, can you guess a similar line for the QA? What is the role of QA? In the same structure,
Is it during the fabrication?
what they will do, QA will also find the defects.
Assurance, final approval, I think they will give. After identify the defect.
We will make sure that product is being built as per standards, quality standards.
Now, there's very delicate difference here. Is built or will be built? There's a difference. If we say is built, that means already produced. Now you are checking. This is the role of QC. QA is to assure that whatever we will see in future will inshallah comply with the quality. Right? So the difference between the reactive and proactive. Reactive is already done. Now check, is it good enough to be presented or not? Proactive is if you do this and this and this and this and this. So this is where all your audit, SOPs, trainings, documentation, everything will fit here. All is QA. Right? So QA is to avoid the defects in the deliverables. Any question or confusion? Very easy. QC is to find the defects in the deliverables. QA is to avoid the defects in the deliverable. Any question or confusion?
So QA and QC are two different person in
Not necessary. Not necessary.
because they are doing a different job. QA will assure there is no
different
defect.
perspective could be there, but it's not necessary that it is two different persons or two different teams or two different departments. It could be same department, it could be same team, it could be same person.
Okay.
Could be doesn't mean is. Could be means in one company it could different team, in another company the same team is doing both things.
So QA will come before QC, na?
Right.
We have
will
to.
come before QC.
Huh?
Yes, you are right.
Then QC will come.
Or let me make it more easy for you. This is the product we are making or any deliverable we are making. I can distribute it in 3 parts time-wise: before making, during making, after making. So if I ask you what can come before making, QA or QC or both?
QA.
QA.
So QA can
QC will come
before
after.
making. What can come during?
QA.
Both. QA for the product that is already being built and QC
What can
for
come after making something?
QC.
QC. So this is the role in which phase what will be active. But that does not mean if we are doing planning for QC at this stage, so we are doing QA. No. Yes, there is so much planning required for QC.
Yeah.
And when we have so many defects identified during QC, one option is, okay, keep doing the production in the same way, keep finding the defected items. Another option could be improve your processes and do the QA for the next phase so that you reduce the defects. So the input from QC, the results from QC are again considered, analyzed in the QA, so that for future we can improve. Right? I
Yes.
hope this is clear to all of you.
Clear.
Then resource management, there are three types of resources: manpower, machine, and material. So we have estimation, we acquire, we develop. Some processes are common for all three types of resources. Some processes are only for the manpower. So motivation, demotivation, appraisals, all these things are only specific to the manpower only. Communication management, when we share the information with the other stakeholders, stakeholder means anyone who can positively or negatively impact the project or get impacted by the project is a stakeholder. So different stakeholders need different information. Some people need schedule related, some people need cost related, some people need incidents related, completion wise, HR related, training related. So different stakeholders, different information, different frequency. Frequency means daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, real time, and different format. Some people they say just send us a WhatsApp message. Some people say give me a written, signed, stamped report. So different information, different frequency, different format, different stakeholders. This all comes under communication management. Risk management, just last few 10 minutes, inshallah. Risk management, risk means anything that may or may not happen. Very easy example, like just a few when we started the lecture today, there was a rain, heavy rain in Lahore. So let's say we are starting on 13th, inshallah, just to remind you the full course, inshallah, 13th of July, inshallah. For the sake of example only, is it possible on 13th of July, there is heavy rain? And because of that heavy rain, there is a power failure and I cannot conduct the class on 13th of July. So is it possible? Yes or no? What do you think?
Yeah, possible.
Possible. If it is possible, is it a risk? Yes or no?
Yes. But it can be managed if we see the forecast.
But that is not a criteria that if it can be managed, it's not a risk.
Yeah, agreed.
So it is a risk. If I say it is raining right now, is it a risk? Yes or no? Or
No.
let me ask another easier example. If I say next month the prices of the raw material can increase, is it a risk? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. If I say yesterday the prices of the raw material increased, is it a risk? Yes or no?
This is a risk that has been occurred.
So this is
Risk
the
is attached to uncertainty, and that is usually in the future.
right. So if we say something has already happened in past, this is called as issue. Enjoy it, face it, handle it. If we say something may or may not happen in future, that is a risk. So if I say it's raining right now, it's an issue, not a risk. But if I say maybe tomorrow it may or may not rain, that is a risk. So as we discussed already, on 13th of July, it is possible that because of heavy rain, we may not be able to conduct the class. We may have to postpone the class. Is it a risk? Yes. Now, if I ask you, what are the chances of that risk, means probability, out of, if I give you 5 options, very high, high, medium, low, or very low. What are the chances that it will actually happen? We are thinking about future. Our project is this training itself. So what are the chances on 13th of July this will actually happen? What will be your choice? Very high or medium or low or very low?
Medium.
Okay, let's say medium. If it actually happens that because of the heavy rain, power failure, internet disconnectivity, no UPS backup, we may have to cancel and reschedule the class, how big will be the impact? Again, you have 5 options: very high, high, medium, low, or very low. What will be your choice? Maybe for some of you, it's a small risk, no maafi mushkil, no problem. We will come another day. Right? For some of you, maybe may have travel plan, may have flight, may have other training, any other commitment. So let's say a high impact. So what we have quickly done, we identified a risk and we quickly did qualitative analysis on that. So when we say medium probability and high impact, so we have actually done qualitative analysis. And here I remember one point in your exam, the result you will get, it will not be in numbers. It will be just rankings. You will get qualitative assessment. You will not get quantitative assessment. Qualitative assessment means overall pass or fail. And you have 3 domains: people, process, and business. These are not 3 chapters. Same chapters, 10 chapters are distributed from this angle also. Right? So you will get an assessment from PMI after your exam result that were you above target or on target or below target. So this is what you will get in your result, but this result is a simple printout. After you finish your exam, you come outside the lab, you will get it regardless anyone passes or fails. But this assessment is only for your personal record. It will not be shown on your PMP certificate. On PMP certificate, nothing is mentioned related to your performance in the exam. Everyone who has passed is going to get the same certificate. So this is called as qualitative assessment. Rankings, classifications, categorizations, high, medium, low, large, extra large, important, very high, high, medium. Quantitative assessment is in numbers. So same risk, if I represent in this way, that 30% chances that on this construction project of 2 years, let's say 24 months, we are having a project of construction, there is a chance of 30% that we will have a rain which will waste 10 days on this 24 months project. And if it happens, actually, we will have an impact in terms of wastage of time and material and this and that. Maybe $15,000 will be wasted. So now you can see I am representing the same risk in terms of numbers. This is called as quantitative assessment. Then we have planned risk responses. So planned risk responses, very easy example. Omar and Wahajuddin, I think you are sitting in your office or home?
At home.
Home office.
Okay. So if you see around in your offices or buildings, do you see the firefighting equipment anywhere? Sprinklers or fire extinguishers or smoke detectors or smoke alarms anywhere?
Yeah, smoke alarms are
Yes,
there.
we see.
Right. So these are an example of risk response. Fire is a risk, and this is one of the many responses which are in place because of fire risk. So this is called as plan risk. So we identify the risk, we perform qualitative analysis, we perform quantitative analysis, and we plan risk responses, and we implement that. This is all about risk management. Procurement management means when we involve other companies, contractors, vendors, and this is where which you were referring to, that sometimes we do not have expertise, sometimes we do not have time, sometimes it is important or to outsource, or just to avoid the headache or the risk, we outsource. So these are coming under procurement. Stakeholder, anyone interested in the project or can impact the project or get impacted by the project is a stakeholder. Integration means all these knowledge areas that we have discussed so far, they are interrelated. So these are one thing, change in one area may impact the others. Just last couple of slides only. All these things, same 10 knowledge areas are presented in process groups also. That we initiate a project, then we plan the project, and we use a term baseline plan, means approved plan. When you present the plan to the stakeholders, they do not approve immediately. They have some concerns, they have some feedback, some suggestions, some constraints, some deadlines, some limitation. You keep adjusting that and eventually it is approved. That is called as baseline plan. Then we start execution. When we start execution, there is the responsibility of the controlling processes. They keep comparing what should happen, what is happening. And if there is no difference between what should happen and what is happening, that means, Alhamdulillah, everything is in control. But if there is a difference between what should happen and what is happening, that difference is called as variance. It could be in terms of time, it could be in terms of cost, right? And if that difference or variance is small, we say, Maafi mushkil. Inshallah, Allah Kareem, things will improve, inshallah. Or small difference, small overspending, small time wastage, inshallah, nothing big. But if there is a big variance, what we need to do? Replan. So how much variance is acceptable and how much variance is not acceptable, this also needs to be decided in every project planning stage, and that is called as threshold. Thresholds need to be decided in terms of time and cost in the beginning of the project, because your planning is dependent on that. And once we complete all the deliverables, we move to the closing processes. Mostly people think that plan is just a schedule. No, it is not a schedule. Plan needs to be, as we have discussed, the 10 knowledge areas. So all the knowledge areas need to be planned, including communication, including procurement, including risk, including stakeholder, including scope. So plan, and of course, we are assuming we are talking about a very big project. Otherwise, if you start doing these all things that we are discussing right now in small project, it will not be practical. So on a big project, we have these 18 components of the plan, which are collectively called as project management plan. So there are 49 processes, 5 process groups, and 10 knowledge areas. We will discuss that in more detail later on. Once again, this is going to be the schedule of the full course. This is my WhatsApp number written in the bottom. If you want recording or the slides of that, just send me a message. I will share tomorrow, inshallah, recording with you and the slides also. For the full course, you can contact me for the registration. If you pay me in Pakistan, there's a different price. If you pay me in Saudi Arabia, because of the VAT, 15% VAT and kafil charges also. So that is slightly more than if you pay to me in Pakistan. Anyone wants to leave, no problem. You can leave. I have finished my topics. Anyone wants to stay, I will be happy to answer all the questions. If you have any, please feel free to ask your question.
Yeah, thanks for that. I have one quick question. So you explained those topics. So I came to know that there are some change in the approach in the PMP from 2021, I believe, after COVID. So what is the change?
What is the change? Even if you do not know the change, what will, how it will impact you? Already 2 years passed, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right. But see, why I want to know, because the things how we are doing, because I am already involved. Without PMP, I'm somehow involved in those things in the current business, in the current job. So will it change my thinking if I take the
No.
PMP course?
No. Before that change, there were 200 questions. Now there are 180 questions. Right. This is one change. Another, as I told you, calculations were coming before that. Now calculations are not coming. The biggest change is before 2021, agile related questions were not coming, but they were still part of the book. PMBOK 6, you have agile already included in that, and PMBOK 6, I think it came in somewhere in maybe 2016 or 17, I think. So agile was already there. But yes, exam was not asking questions on agile, but now 50% of the questions are coming from agile topic. So that does not make any change for you. Anyone who is starting PMP training now, so even if you do not know the change, no problem. But 50% of the topics are coming from agile.
All right. Understood. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
One small thing, I've noticed that there are some
What would be your tuition fee?
One by one, please. Yes, please.
There are some 5-hour sessions on.
Yeah, Friday and Saturday, because mostly I try to match it with the Middle East. So for them, Friday and Saturday is off, right? So that is the
Okay.
reason behind that.
Yeah, I was thinking, yeah, but it'll be too late for Pakistani people because 5 p.m. KSA means
Pakistani
4.
people light already nahi aandi the yaar upsar jaldi rehne koi masala.
Yeah, the problem was it'll be 4 p.m. for me, and
Yeah.
it'll be better if we can shift it by 1 hour, like 6 p.m.
We can actually, as this is a baseline right now, everyone I have shared the same schedule. But once we start, inshallah, on day one, after we know that who are there, how many people are there, you can give the proposal. If no one else has any objection, for me, I have no issue.
Yeah, otherwise I'll manage as well. But,
Inshallah.
yeah, it'll be good for me. But yeah, we'll discuss once we are there in the class.
Yeah,
Yeah.
inshallah.
All right, thanks.
Welcome.
If in case of any missing class, okay, if any emergency due to any emergency, we cannot predict that one. So what will be the solution for that?
Generally, I share the video recordings for limited time. Right?
Okay.
Limited time means like 1 week. So 1 week is enough for you to refer to that, watch the missed part, right? And then I will remove it. So it will not be like I will give you downloadable. It will be just online available. After 1 week, I will remove it.
Okay, good. Okay.
And one last question: what would be your tuition fees apart from the exam fee?
The exam fee you do not have to give to me. Exam fee you have to give to PMR. Right? That is $550. Depending upon if you are applying for from Saudi Arabia, there will be VAT also. So local taxes will be applicable on that. But if you are giving one tip for at least for the people who are based in Pakistan, even if you are living in anywhere else, if you make a profile with your shipping address of Pakistani location, you will be exempted for the tax at least. Right, so that is 15% saving at least. That is a good saving for you.
Yeah, but I have a question there. Actually, it's really good because VAT is around 21% here. So I don't know if I make a profile with Pakistan. Am I supposed to take a center only in Pakistan because then ticket will be way more expensive, or I can select a center anywhere?
It is not linked with the exam location.
Ah, okay. Then it will help me saving 21% actually. Yeah, good suggestion. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Mohsin, your message, how much is the course fee? Course fee, my standard course fee is 750 riyals, right? My standard course fee is 750 Saudi riyals. $1 is equal to 3.75 riyals. So just in case you want to convert into US dollars, so $1 is equal to 3.75 riyals. That is fixed. Only exception, I have some marketing affiliates. So in case you came to me through them, then send me a message. I will check. Then for them, there is a slightly different fee. Otherwise, my standard fee is 750. For jobless people, I cooperate with them. And for groups also, there is 30% discount. So just in case if you want to make a group, I have a second session on 7th of July. Maybe you can invite some of your friends in that also. Maybe if the recording you can share with them. If they like, you can register with them and get 30% discount. So other than that, standard fee is 750 riyals. If you pay to me in Pakistan, if you pay me in Saudi Arabia, it is 900 riyals.
So for Pakistani rupees, it's just conversion from riyals to Pakistan rupee, or it's no, because it's really fluctuating.
Doesn't matter. Just small half rupee here and there doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay. Yes.
Okay.
What is the benefit of getting membership?
Membership, I mentioned multiple times that there's just a discount on first time fee and then second and third time, or with maybe 1 year you want to give another certification, there is a good discount in that also. You can see the salary service. I have one slide. You can, if you miss that part, you can refer to that from the recording or the slides. Not huge benefit, but it's recommended at least for the first year when you're giving the exam, at least for that, at least take it, because it is not going to cost you extra. Any other question? Can we close if there is no question?
Yes, sorry. Actually, I joined very late, so there is a question on my side for a sales and proposal manager. If we are qualified for PMP application.
Maybe you can send me a voice message, right? I will try to answer that separately. Right?
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Right. Any other question? Or shall?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
From my side also, actually, I have a background of sales and marketing, business development. So, will it be, I mean, fruitful for me to do the
See,
PMP
fruitful
or?
for you or not, that is your choice. Right? I will simply say everyone shall do it. But maybe you will say, maybe I'm trying to sell my course only, that's fine. So that is why I keep this 3-hour introduction. If you felt there is something useful for you in this, go for the full course. Right?
No, but in exam means they will accept my application for exam based on my profile and based on my job.
You have to present the project.
Huh?
You have to present that in my job, I have ever worked on the projects. Right? Even if it is a solution sale. Even if it is solution sales, you have to present it in this way that, yes, I have worked on the projects.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, all of you, for your participation and involvement. Inshallah, see you in the full course. And if you still have any question, please feel free to send me messages on WhatsApp, audio messages, calls I do not attend, right? So many of you, you request that can we call? I'm not available for the calls, but for the messages, yes, please. Welcome anytime. Thank you very much. See you in future. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.